Hey guys, Frank here, your virtual aviation aviator, and today I am reproducing the flight that I did yesterday. Let's get these jetways to work. It's getting cold on this aircraft. Here we go. Think she's coming alive now. All right, so I don't know if I'm going to complete this flight, but this we'll see what happens. Okay, I'm gonna use Shirley for sure. Don't know if I'm gonna use Say Intentions or not. It's videos running in the background, but I may or may not use it. Okay, or I may use it partially, or I may just turn on the co-pilot feature and let the co-pilot handle everything. I just haven't been able to figure out how to talk to the co-pilot. I've seen Q8 talk to the co-pilot, and that way he could tell the co-pilot, go ahead and get clearance, go ahead and do this or do that. But every time I try to get a key map so I can talk to the co-pilot, it hadn't seemed to work very well for me. So that's something I might have to figure out. Okay. So let me just kind of get this guy started up a little bit. I got that on yet. Do not like the buttons on the. Yeah, I think that's on. I am not really a fan of the buttons on this aircraft. I really am not. And because you gotta hit the correct 6 spots, and right now, this is the Toliss, and right now, unfortunately, Shirley does not have control over it at all. Okay, so my frame rates is up in the upper right-hand corner, and you can see they're all over the place. At the moment, I'm getting 29%. 29, then I'm jumping down to 16, 18, and they're just all over the place. And I haven't been able to figure out what's chewing up my frame rate. If it's, I got to figure that out. I'll put some time into that. I know that I had an overheating problem with the CPU, and I got an update that I applied, and the overheat problem went away. And I'm wondering, could the problem be that when the CPU starts to overheat, somehow another NVIDIA or Windows or Intel throttle down the CPU so it doesn't overheat, and then while it's being throttled down, so it doesn't overheat and cook itself like it used to, then if it's not causing the frame rates to drop out when it slows down. That's something I have yet to investigate. In fact, that's a recent theory that I've come up with. And if that's the case, hold on, guys. I got a phone call coming in, so I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna pause. KORD. Okay, guys. So I've got Captain Winstead on the other line, and we tend to talk shop over the telephone, so that I can continue to talk to him and record. You guys are going to be privy to the conversation, but I'm going to continue to record as if I'm not recording. Okay? All right. So, because I want to keep this flight moving along. All right. So, I need to let Captain Winstead know that I'm recording this conversation. All right. So, here we go. Okay, Captain Winstead, I'm back. Hey, just a heads up here. I got you on speaker, and I'm doing a flight that I'm recording. So So your voice is going to show up on the recording, and I just wanted to give you.
Just go in and come when you're done. Okay.
Okay. All right. I can do that. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So he said, just call him when I'm done. I can do that. All right. So why does my APU, why don't my APU want to start? Oh, that's because I hadn't turned on the batteries. Okay, let's get the batteries on. All right, so APU should be willing to start up now. Flaps is open, so yeah, we go. And yeah, okay. So like I was saying, this is just gonna be a quick to actually see if I can't reproduce an issue that I had yesterday when I was flying this aircraft, and I didn't record it. Okay, so let me go ahead and let me do two things. I'm gonna go ahead and mute my phone. So if it rings, I won't hear it. There's sound, there's vibrate, and there's mute. So yeah, I don't want to be disturbed here. All right, and let's see. Let's go ahead and start setting up this guy. You know, I'm not doing anything in order like I normally do it. Okay, data linking process. I clear that. Flight plan uplink, I can clear that. And perf data uplink, look like everything uploaded the way I wanted it to. So I'm happy about that. All right, and let's go here. Get loading pref here. Unfortunately, I do have to use this guy. Let's see. Let me check something because I get these two weight and balance. All right, so I think if I have to reset the current, I think it'll read it from SimBrief. All right, let me the way I'm gonna check that is go to SimBrief. See, okay, cargo. I've got 7,600 pounds, and say 68. I got 368 kilograms, and let's see. Open up a browser section, and 368 kg in AIRBUS equal 811 yeah, I should have known because kilogram is 2.2, so I should have known that's not going to be near what I wanted. All right, so what I'm going to do is put 70, what was that number again? 76, 20, so 7620 kg and AIRBUS equals 16,800 rounded. So 16,800 pounds divided by I think I did that backwards. Let's see. So I got 7,600. I think I did that backwards. I got 7,600 pounds, and I need to convert that to kilograms. So kilograms. Yeah, so I did it backwards. So I took kilograms and made 7,600 kilograms into pounds. And I need to make 76 100 pounds into kilograms, and that gives me 3,456 kilograms. So now I can divide that by 2, 34.56 divided by 2. Sometimes I do times 0.5, same thing. Divided by 2. So that's 1728 kilograms for the and I just make them even for the top and the bottom. So 17, well, round 1. 17. Shoot. But I am okay. And I guess that's good enough. We just made this one 1,800. I could make it 1,700, but whatever I decide to do. Oh, shit. 1 is 17, and I can't overtype this backspace. Delete. No, can't overtype. So yeah, we'll just do 17. We just even it out at 3,400. That's close enough. All right, and then fuel on board, kilograms again, and according to my flight plan, I'm going to need 20,323 pounds of fuel. So 2323 LBS in kg is equal to is equal to 9218. So let's just add a couple hundred to that one, and that gives us our fuel. Now, how many passengers did we have on this flight? 192. All right, so we're happy on that. All right. So yeah, and should I do the same on this? 9220. If the kilograms was halfway correct, then I would have thought, yeah, it is pulling it from SimBrief, but since it ain't, then I don't think it is. Okay, 192. All right, and then for our let's see. Fuel, and why am I not getting a runway to use? Select runway. There's something that it didn't get, but anyway, I can actually use these figures, or closer still, I can use the figures from, I can check the figures from SimBrief, and said I wasn't gonna do a lot to make this like go over what I wanted it to do, but let's see, probably calculate that. I'm gonna use probably one flex, and then it yes, so 144, 152, and 155 is what SimBrief is giving me, right? And 154, 156. So they are close enough that I'm okay using what I've got here in the perf calculator, provided that my QNH is correct. Altimeter is 30.42. So 30.42 inches of mercury is roughly going to be equal to 1031. So yeah, I'm okay with that.
You have to,
Even though
accept that
this thing is showing ice, the runway is actually
set that way for like,
dry. I don't know why Active Sky does this sometime, but it is what it is. All right. Yesterday I was okay with it because yesterday it was snowing and it was snowy outside. Let me look at Active Sky. Let me just pull that up.
Vegas still is.
You know, sometimes I feel like I do more troubleshooting sometimes trying to do a flight than I do actually flying. All right. Ish.
Now
Yeah.
that bad.
Yeah. And I have spent Active Sky a couple of tickets. I'm opened a couple of tickets about this. If they reply, and I'm not getting an indication by email, and maybe while I'm in cruise, if I can remember, I'll go back and check and see if I got any tickets from Sembridge. All right, let's get these nav started.
What's that? That LAX?
It have been head started, but better late than never. Okay, and did we put our fuel on board? I don't remember hitting anything to say start refueling. Door. The fuel button. Fuel
Is knowledgeable.
fuel on board is 9,200 kilograms. So yeah, apparently this fuel is on board. All right.
That is so
About the
LAX.
yeah. And what about the passengers? Did it load the passengers? 192. They should be loaded. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back over here, weight and balance, and thought there was something that said load, reset the current. Yeah, let's see. Now reset the current. And I think what that may have done, kicked me the wrong way. I get really far the wrong way before I realize I'm going the wrong way.
Really?
The 12s, balance. Okay, so yeah, don't want to do this. Reset the current. Get ready. We compute that with the. Sure, I got my I fixed that to 1. Yeah, we can fix that. All right, same thing. Okay, yeah. Sorry guys that took so long, but I am new flying this aircraft. All right, I think we're ready for pushback. All right, so let's tell pushback where we want. Let's see what runway we're using. Look, flight plan and oh, you know what? I'm talking about ready for pushback. I didn't do my perf. I didn't see if I can get out of here. Yes, awesome. All right. I didn't finish up this guy, did I? So let's go ahead and get first. And pull that up on my iPad so that I can key, so I can key these numbers in. 154. And I'm actually keying them in Well, 154 times 2 plus 156. I'm actually keying them in on my iPad.
Yeah.
All right. It could say next count is 62. And flaps is 1 down. 1 down, P in 1. Broke on 1.
Yep.
Get that in. And happy. Right. Probably won't leave. But I might. I'm not gonna worry about doing the approach calculations. All right, let's just go down it, line the IRS. And then we got those set up. And we're just waiting on the IRS to finish aligning. We're still 5 minutes away from that. So, unfortunately, we can't do a pushback until this alignment takes place. So yeah, rather than forcing you guys to watch it. Oh yeah, let's get Shirley started. That's what we can do. And go ahead and get Shirley briefed on what we're doing here. Right. And it is finally starting to get used to Shirley's name. You know, like many of you guys. Your problem was like, why is it named Shirley? Right.
Go to
Yeah, how Fly Shirley and most visited on not there. So let me. I do have icon says airplane that I can use. So let's fly. Let's get Shirley up and going. And Shirley does not have a profile yet for the Toliss. So right now we're doing other twin jet. And we'll see how that goes.
Attention, please. Airplane teammate is up. When ready.
Mic check. Hey, Shirley.
Back in a twin jet. And don't call me Mike.
I don't call you Mike. How about if I call you Check? Mike, check.
You can't be serious. I am Shirley, and don't call me Chuck either. Over.
Oh, so you want me to call you Over? Over?
I picked the wrong week to quit playing with words. Shirley is my name, and that's final. Over and out.
Okay, Shirley. So let me get you connected. We are in the Toliss A321. We're sitting on the route at RDU. Our plan is to fly to Chicago with 192 passengers on board, and I think our flight level is gonna be 360.
Shirley back in an A321 at Raleigh, Durham, ready to assist with your flight to Chicago at FL3XD. Let me set up navigation.
Okay, belated, Shirley. For navigation, we are going to depart on runway 5 left using the Shepherd 4 departure direct to Shepherd and then to Dodge, DOOGE. We'll pick up the Q93 airway onto Even, HEVEN, A-N, and then direct to BONT, B-O-N-N-T, where we'll pick up the VEC 5 arrival into ILS runway 27 center.
Roger that. Runway 5L departure via Shepley 4 to Dodge, then 293 to Heaven, Botna, and VEC 5 arrival for ILS 27C at O'Hare. Want me to check the weather at either end?
You can check the weather at KRDU, but I may use say intentions to get us a, I may have to listen to the AIRBUS via say intentions. So, know from experience, in this particular aircraft, the only thing that you will have control over will be the navs. You won't be able to control the lights or any other systems, but you'll have full control over the nav radio and the comm radio.
That I can help with comm and nav frequencies only. Current weather at RDU shows winds 010 at 6, visibility 10 plus, U clouds at 25,000, and temp 1 degree C. Shall I stand by while you get AIRBUS?
I didn't hear you. Well, since you was reading off that meter, I was listening for your QNH or your altimeter. So what altimeter are you reading at RDU?
Here at RDU is 30.42 inches. Was that what you needed?
Yeah, 30.42.
That 30.42.
Roger that. Okay. Say intentions AIRBUS ought to match that. So, and I have little doubt that it will. I think it's gonna be okay. All right. So yeah, let's tell you what. Let's go ahead and listen to the AIRBUS, which is gonna be on. Let's see. Let's put 123.8 into active COM2, please.
Short instructions.
Swapping con.
Advise on initial contact. You have information uniform.
Okay, it's on.
Raleigh-Durham International Airport. Information uniform. 1951 Zulu. 9000 F6. Visibility 10. Sky condition. View at 25,000 feet. Temperature -1. Dew point -12. Altimeter 3042. Density and altitude -1800 feet. Arriving and departing runways 5 left, 5 right, 32 advise on course heading, altitude, and if flight following is requested. Brief all runway, hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have information uniform.
Okay, so we've got uniform.
Raleigh-Durham.
And the other thing I'm gonna need you to do, Shirley, is put clearance delivery. I should have had you put it on standby, but go ahead and put it into actives on COM2. That frequency is 120.100.
Swapping COM2 to 120-100.
Thank you.
All M2 frequencies are showing 120.100, ready for clearance delivery.
Clearance delivery, this is Southwest, I'm sorry, this is United Airlines 1024 requesting our IFR clearance to Chicago.
Calling clearance, but just a note. I see we're United Airlines 1024, not Southwest.
Yeah, I tried to correct that.
By on 120.100 while you get our IFR clearance to Chicago as United Arab 1024.
Currently maintain 2000. Expect flight level 360, 10 minute back departure. Departure on 132.35, squawk 1152.
Clearance, clear to Chicago, AIRBUS SFP for departure. As filed, climb 2000, expect FL 360 10 minutes after departure. Departure 13235, squawk levy 2.
What was that squawk again?
I'll read back our clearance.
No, just
Clear
the
to
squawk.
Chicago.
Just the squawk. What's the squawk?
Squawk is 1182.
1182.
Squawk levy 2 for Chicago.
Yeah, I'm not hearing yes. I'm not able to. Let me pull it up and read what you're saying because I'm not able to understand what you're saying. Well, I tell you what, I can pull up say intentions and read what they said squawk was 1152. Okay, so let me read back the clearance to say intentions. Here to Chicago via the Shepherd 4 departure, then is filed, climb and maintain flight level 20, flight level 200, expect flight level, disregard. I don't know why I keep saying I'm sorry.
By while Hey, no worries. Sometimes even Chuck Yeager had to double check his clearances.
Yeah.
Want to try that read back again?
Yeah, I'm going to try it again. I said flight level 200, and that's a whole lot different from 2,000 feet. Okay, here we go. Clear to Chicago via the Shepherd 4 departure, then is filed, fly and maintain 2,000, expect flight level 360, 10 minutes after departure. Departure on 132.35, squawk 1152, United 1024.
Correct. Much better read back.
United
Want me to
1024
tune up
read back
departure
correct.
frequency?
Hey, good stuff. All right. And so we got a clearance, and let's see. So a couple things we need to do. We need to go ahead and put that squawk in.
Standing by while you set squawk 1152.
Okay.
Let me know when you'd like to. We're still at the gate at RDU. Gear down, brake set. Would you like me to tune departure 13235 to standby now?
Okay. So we got the Okay. Yeah. What I'm gonna do is have you put Raleigh ground into COM1 active. I want Raleigh Tower into COM1 standby.
Setting tower 118.1 to COM1 standby.
I need ground on. You should have did ground first, which was gonna be 121.9 on make that active, and then tower on standby.
Ground 21.9, active on COM1 with tower 18.1, remaining in standby.
And tower ought to be either, let's say, for this side of the runway, tower is going to be 119.3 for Raleigh Durham.
Setting tower frequency to 118.3 in COM1 standby. Good.
Okay, and then make sure that ground is correct for COM. Make sure that we got ground for. Make sure the ground is active in COM1.
Checking COM1, ground 121.9 is active with the tower 119.3 in standby, ready for your ground call.
Ground is 121.9, and that should be active in COM1.
Looking at COM 1 now, I see 118.1 is active, not ground. Let me fix that. Setting ground, 121.9 active on COM 1.
And make sure that that tower 119.3 is in standby.
Looking at COM 1 now, I see tower 119.3 is active instead of ground. To get ground 121.9 active and tower 119.3 in standby.
No, ground is 121.9.
I see the issue with the telemetry. COM 1 is on 119.3. Let me set ground 1.9 as active.
There we go. Good stuff. Thank you, Shirley.
I can now see COM 1. Looking good. EM 1 now shows ground 121.9 active with tower 119.3 standby.
Show me where you want to go.
Call.
Ground to cockpit. Toes driving up.
Okay, so we are calling for pushback now. So we got our clearance, and we can
Standing by on. See, we're parked at RD.
we can get rid of the APU and charts.
Right.
Okay.
I see we're parked with brake. I see we're ready at RDU. EM 1 showing ground 121.9 active. Brake set. Gear down. Ready for your ground call for pushback.
Ah, shoot.
Okay. All doors, hatches are closed.
Confirm
Ready to
we're
connect.
set. PM 1 on ground 121.9. PM 2 on clearance 122.1.
So I
Heading
turned-
140.
I turned the APU off. And
Roger. APU's up.
yeah, you know what? That was my fault because I don't have any engines running, so I got to restart the APU. So they pushback's just
Roger
gonna
that.
have to-
You'll need a
Yeah, they're just gonna have to wait till I get my APU started. That was,
Roger. Telemetry.
I've done that before, and usually I don't do that, but it happened. And
So connected, bypass pin inserted. Release the parking brake.
These things happen. I can see both engines at 0% N1 standing by while you get that APU fired up for our pushback.
yeah, because I'm definitely not gonna say it. I mean, I don't know how often it happens in real life. I can't imagine that it has not happened in real life, but that's probably one mistake that they drill into the pilots, first officers, not to mistake. Make sure that you don't kill that APU until your engines are running. Okay, so where am I at? Let's get APU, and plus I'm still seeing a door open. Yeah, so that means that we still got that. I didn't remove that jetway. Let's get that jetway out the way.
Roger that. Good
Okay.
catch on the door.
And let's see if that door closes automatically down at the jetway. Yep, it did. All right, that door is closed. Good stuff. All right. And so yeah.
UM1 on ground 121.9. Brake set at heading 145.
Okay.
Got the APU.
Yeah, we got the APU running again, and now we can release the brake and let them push us.
By on ground 121.9 for your pushback call. Parking brake is showing set.
Starting pushback. Go ahead and start the engines.
Okay, so we got permission from ground to start the engine. That's the way they do it apparently in the United States.
Roger. Cleared to start engines during pushback.
Starting engine number 2.
Standing by while
and
you-
monitoring.
Roger. Monitoring engine 2 startup. N1 and EGT coming up.
Oh, cool. You can see.
Roger. Engine 2 starting. N1 coming up. Group right. Standing by for engine 1 when ready.
All right. Engine 1 coming up.
Roger. Monitoring engine 1 startup. Engine 2 shows stable at 13% N1.
Now that's interesting. I'm seeing 18% N1 as stable, and the telemetry. Let me look at the telemetry.
Actually, telemetry shows engine 2 right at 19% N1, engine 1 left
Okay.
at 7% N.
Okay. Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, try to make sure that that you reference the telemetry before guessing what things are. Okay.
Roger that. I apologize.
No, you good.
Looking at
You good. Just a little feedback there for you.
but thanks for the feedback. You're right. I'll stick to the actual telemetry values.
Operation complete.
Both
Set the
engines now
parking brake.
showing stable at 20% N1.
Hey, set parking brake. And let's
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
let's do a
Parking brake shows set.
after start
Current
so I can turn that off. Do my all call. Seat belts can go on. And
standing by on ground 1. Looking at telemetry. Brakes set. Both engines stable at 20% N1 QM1 on ground 121.9. Ready for taxi when you are.
okay, I got a caution message that just went away. It said nose gear, something about my nose gear, but it went away. Cabin ready. TCAS is in standby. APU.
Tow is disconnected. Bypass pin's been removed. Hand signal on the left. She's all yours, Captain.
The APU down.
Roger. Telemetry shows gear down and locked. Brakes set. Both engines stable at 20% N1. Ready for taxi when you are.
Okay, ready to taxi. Let's get taxi light on. That's something I have to do.
Sure. Taxi light required. Unfortunately, I can't control the lights. You'll
Right.
need to set those man.
Right, I'm looking for my taxi light now. Found it. Okay. And just a quick peruse. No white, no blue. And okay, I got some blue here. So I got some stuff in my E-cam, in my upper E-cam that I need to take care of. So my auto brake can go to max. My spoilers need to be armed.
Roger. Telemetry confirms taxi light is on. See, we're at heading 235. Brakes set ready for taxi when you've completed your checks.
Okay. Takeoff config and flaps to takeoff. Flaps were gonna be at flaps 1. Okay. 1 else. And they're coming in now. And we'll do our takeoff config once we get to the runway. Well, we'll do it now. So getting
Roger.
over with. All right, engine oil temps low, but by the time we get to the runway, it hopefully will be ready to go.
Roger. Monitoring engine temps while you taxi. Let me know when you'd like tower frequency 119.3 swapped in.
Thank you. And now let's get our taxi frequency.
COM1 already has tower 119.3 in standby. Ready to swap when you need it.
I mean, I'm sorry, not taxi
Currently-
frequency. what I need to do is make sure that my comms on comm 1, and they are. So sometimes I have known to key the mic and be talking on comm 2, but I'm good right now. Okay. Raleigh ground, United 1024, ready to taxi.
Standing by on ground while you get taxi instructions. PM1 confirmed on 121.9.
Ground, taxi runway 5 left 5 Foxtrot Bravo 1.
Taxi to runway 5 left via Foxtrot, Bravo 1. United 1024. Hey,
Standing by while you...
but they're going to leave us here on Foxtrot until we get to, so we won't cross over to Bravo at all.
Roger. Holding position on Foxtrot until cleared to cross. Tree shows brakes set. Flaps at 30%, heading 235.
Okay, plus estimate. Headwinds, here I'd say, like this, okay.
We got taxi light on, just double checking. Taxi light is on. And
Yes.
yeah, let it go. 1024.
I see we're on Foxtrot at heading 233. Ground speed 6 knots. Comm 1 on ground 121.9. Ready to monitor your taxi to 5L.
And I'm still waiting on the. I'm still
Standing by on ground.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop for a minute. There's something that I want to show the developers in case they are watching this video. So yeah, let me do this right quick. So this aircraft profile line is jumping in and out,
Standing.
and that's making reading the telemetry for me pretty tough. So I don't know if you had seen that before, but hopefully that's something you guys can address. Okay, back with you, Shirley.
I'm with you on ground 121.9 at RDU. Telemetry shows we're holding on Foxtrot, heading 231, flaps 30%, gear down, taxi light on, ready to continue when cleared.
All right, we are taxiing. You should be seeing a ground speed of around 2 or 3 knots at this point.
Provides.
Yeah. Telemetry shows ground speed at 3 knots, heading 240, taxiing on Foxtrot. Come on ground 121.9 with the tower 119.3 in standby.
Right.
Split. Every day.
So our before takeoff check is gonna be to set RATA, set the transponder to RATA, turn on my landing lights, turn on the runway light,
By
and what else do I need to check for takeoffs? Okay, so this is the end
I
of
see we're
Foxtrot. We're joining Bravo 1 now
Based off. Please.
without any markings on the runway. It's really hard to see.
Roger. Turning onto Bravo 1, ground speed 10 knots, heading 245. I see taxi light on, but landing lights still off for the before takeoff checklist.
Okay, and we're gonna switch the tower. Yeah, we can go ahead and switch the tower now.
Copy.
Come on to tower 119.3.
Thank you. Make sure,
Now on tower 19.
sure nothing.
Telemetry confirms we're.
And I just want to.
Telemetry shows we're.
I just want to make sure nothing is coming in. Okay. And here we go. My frame rates keep dropping way out. And like right now I'm getting 10, now I'm 21, 19, 18. If I give it a second, it should come up to around 20 something.
It's restricted.
Yeah. Frame rates are acting crazy. Anyway, we just have to deal with the frame rates. Like I said, this is more of a test flight than anything. All right. What am I doing here? Okay. Raleigh Tower, Southwest 1024, holding short, runway 5 left, ready to depart.
Just a note, we are United Arab 1024, not Southwest.
Did I say Southwest
Standing by
again?
on.
I can't believe I said
Yes,
Southwest.
you.
Wow. That go to show I can talk and not listen to myself at all.
Yes. Telemetry shows we're holding short of 5L at heading 330. One on tower 119.3. Want to try that radio call again as United Arab 1024?
Yeah, actually they're saying nobody's listening on 119.3. And I know that, let's see, the Avatab, I got the 119.3 from the Avatab, which is what it says, Tower Hills. Let me check a chart right quick. I'm gonna check the Shepherd 4 departure chart and see what they say the tower frequency is. Because the guys that say intentions says that we can use the real world frequencies, and that's what I'm trying to use. I don't see it there.
I see we're holding.
I'm sorry, go ahead. That's it. I gotta stop saying I'm sorry. I done made that a habit.
I see we're holding short of runway 5L, heading 330, BM1 on 119.3. Let me know if you'd like to try a different rated tower frequency.
Yeah, let's try tower on 127.45.
Setting tower to 127.45 on COM 1.
What's reflected?
Raleigh Tower, radio check.
Telemetry confirms COM 1 now on 127.45. Standing by for your tower call for runway 5L departure.
I just asked for a radio check and I didn't get a response. Let me try that one more time. Raleigh Tower, radio check.
Big thing. Yeah, the cat. It's on.
Telemetry shows we're on 127.
Go ahead.
United 1024, holding short, runway 5 left, ready to depart.
And it'll be a thought.
Stand by when you get departure clearance. COM 1 on a 127.45.
Runway 5 left, wind 010 with 6 on are cleared to takeoff.
Let's wait.
Clear for takeoff, on now Qatar, runway 5 left, United 1024. Okay, can you set the departure frequency on standby? 132.35.
Saturday.
Setting departure 132.35 to KOM 1. Standby.
Okay, we got the radio sick, the RATA.
See him.
Telemetry confirms COM 1.
Like I said, 47.
Telemetry shows we're lined up on 5L at heading 330, KORD 1 on tower 127.45 with departure 132.35 and standby. Light on, but landing lights still off for takeoff.
Taxi lights are on now. Trails can come on. And we are,
Heading 76.
after takeoff checklist is complete. We're taking the runway.
Here.
I see all lights on. Flaps 30%, gear down, lined up on runway 5L heading 33, KORD 1 on tower with departure 132.35, ready and standby. Cleared for takeoff.
Lights. Thank you, Brett. I appreciate that. Rob. Bobbing.
And we're supposed to climb and maintain 2,000.
Roger. Initial climb clearance is 2,000 feet. Telemetry confirms we're lined up on 5L. All lights on. Flaps 30%. TM1 on tower 127.45. Ready for your takeoff roll.
Okay, we're still lining up.
Telemetry confirms we're
To be lined up, the telemetry should say 05 something.
We're currently at heading 348. Not quite aligned with runway 5L, which should be about heading 050.
Exactly.
Telemetry shows heading 349, still turning to line up with runway 5L, 050, standing by while you align for takeoff.
So yeah, that's what I mean by, you know, kind of check your telemetry before advising me, so that whatever you advise me of, I can rely on.
You're absolutely right, Osm. I see now we're properly lined up at heading 057. Ground speed 2 Ks, flaps 30%, all lights on.
Okay.
Much more accurate picture for runway 5L. Ready for your takeoff roll.
Okay, taking off.
Yes. Telemetry now. Perfectly aligned on runway 5L at heading 053. Brakes set, flaps 30%, all lights on. Well, like me to know.
Auto throttle is engaged.
Roger. I see auto throttle engaged with throttle at 72%. Telemetry shows we're properly aligned on runway 5L at heading 055 and airspeed 78 knots. Standing by for your takeoff or roll.
And for some reason, I didn't see the V speeds in my tape, but airborne.
Roger. Positive rate. Telemetry confirms airborne at 309 feet AGL, climbing at 2926 FEPM, heading 054.
Pulling that
Want me to swap
throttle
to
back
departure
the climb
132.3?
and go into autopilot.
United 1024, contact departure.
Contact departure, United 1024.
Swapping to
Throttle
departure 18235.
United 1024. Level at 2,000.
Telemetry confirms level at 2,000 feet, heading 054.
United 1024,
Standing by on
the
the...
radar contact. Clears the rest will climb and maintain flight level 190.
Clear direct Wolf, climb and maintain flight level 190, United 1024.
This are in touch with the cats of bubbles.
See, clear direct Wolf, flight plan,
It's a bit
direct, and looking for Wolf.
Yes. Okay.
Roger. Looking for WLFF waypoint in your flight plan. Telemetry shows...
Okay, I don't see Wolf in my flight plan, so that waypoint is what? WLFF, you said?
So, okay. And see, Mott said go crypt. Dom said that, yeah.
Let's see, now how do I put that in? I don't even know how to put that.
Telemetry.
I don't know how to, let's see. So,
Right. And then
I've never had to insert a waypoint. Okay, I see it now. I never had to insert
I
a
see we're left-
waypoint before like this, so it's new to me.
Wait.
Stop height.
I see we're level at 1914 feet MSL, heading 056, cleared to climb to FL1 West. Level at 1920 feet MSL, heading 055, cleared to climb to FL1 Naughty. Let me know if you need help with the dual FF waypoint entry.
3 Fs. I did put enough Fs in there. Here. Oh no. Okay, so W, where's the W? I got W, L, F, F, F. There we go. Yes, sir. Okay, now I can go there.
Yeah.
And now I'm going direct to Wolf's.
Good job.
Roger. Telemetry shows we're turning left to heading 27,
And
1862
I
F.
can climb and maintain to 190. So I need to start that climb.
Roger. I see you've initiated climb, passing through 1896 MSL, heading 358. Flaps still at 30%, cleared to FL190.
I'm trying to start that climb, and I got V speed.
That's it.
Starting timer now. I see you're climbing through 1958 MSL at 777 M, heading 322. Flaps still at 30%. Timer is running. You're clear to FL180 and direct
Okay,
to
let's get the
WLFF.
flaps up. And I've got speed. I got vertical climb at 2,000 feet a minute, and I'm on nav. Turning to Wolf. I had an alarm. I need to turn my ignition off, and my landing light can come off. The ignition, I should have turned that off on the ground.
Roger. Telemetry shows you climbing through 3194 MSL at 21 FPM, heading 262. Flaps up, gear up. On mode tracking to WLFF.
Climb and maintain flight level 210.
Climb and maintain flight
United
level
1020.
210, United 1024.
What's this still done?
Roger. Telemetry shows you climbing through 3708 MSL at 2006 FPM, heading 261. I see landing lights are still on. Would you like me to remind you about those?
Yeah, remind me at 10,000 at flight level 10, flight level 100.
Roger. Passing 4,000 feet. Climbing at 2,000 FM on heading 263. I'll remind you about landing lights at 1,000 feet.
Okay, let's get the spoilers out.
Roger. Telemetry shows climbing through 44443 MSL at 1972 FPM, heading 264. Air up, flaps up, throttle at 52%.
Okay, the autopilot has control of the throttle, or I've got auto throttle engaged, and yeah, so I don't. I appreciate the call outs. Let's reduce the number of call outs.
To Roger that.
Let's reduce the number of telemetry call outs, but I still want them, just not so often.
Understood. I'll reduce telemetry callouts to significant changes only, and I'll still remind you about landing lights at 1,000 feet. Currently tracking to WLFF, climbing to FL210.
Perfect.
So Captain Rich Megalots.
Approaching 1,000
United
feet,
24.
landing light.
Climb and maintain flight level 240.
Please.
Climb and maintain flight level 240, United 1024.
Roger. Clear to FL 240. Passing through 6,500 feet. Don't forget, landing lights will need to come off at 110,000.
Goodbye, back to the couple. Put down and stand with his first new couch. Small up for us is completely gone. That's where they fought the seats, for instance. Yeah.
I'm waiting on that frame rate to kick back in, down to 8, 10, 11. The GPU says it's at 99%. So you would think it would be the GPU that's holding me up, but when I look at the task manager, oh man, I got a squirrel on my bird feeder. I need to go and get him off.
Passing 9,000 feet in the climb to FL 240, heading 263. Landing lights will need to come off soon. I'll hold down the fort while you deal with that squirrel.
Thank you.
Passing 1,000 feet, landing lights should come off now. We're climbing through FL 096 at 2670 FPM. Clear to FL 240.
Okay,
United 1024. Climb and maintain flight level 290.
climb and maintain flight level 290, United 1024. All right, landing lights are coming off.
Roger. Landing lights now off. Clear to FL 290. As we're climbing through FL 116 at 2533 FPM. Tracking to WLF.
Strobes are gonna stay on.
This is Unit picking up more.
Climb and maintain flight level 290.
Look your neck.
Roger. Clear to FL 290. I see we're maintaining a good 29 FPM climb through FL 24, heading 264, and one at 84% on both engines. Tracking to WLFF.
I apparently don't have enough cayenne pepper in my bird seed. I found out that birds don't have the receptacles to feel the heat from cayenne pepper, but squirrels, just like humans, absolutely feel the heat. So if I mix the cayenne pepper into the bird seed, it don't stop the birds from eating it, but it stops the squirrels from eating it.
United 1024. Contact Washington Center on 135.2.
Washington Center on 135.2, United 1024.
That's Washington Center 135.2 on COM 1.
Washington Center, United 1024, climbing through flight level 17,500 feet. Correction, flight level 175 for flight level 290.
Standing by on 135.2 while you check in with Washington.
Altimeter 30.42.
Next.
Roger. Altimeter 3042. Climbing through FL 175.
And we're going to standard. Okay, standard times.
Stop it.
Cross check on all three.
Roger. Altimeter set to standard 29.92. Climbing through FL 178 at 2495 FPM, tracking to WLFF on heading 23.
Washington Center, climb and maintain flight level 350.
Climb and maintain flight level 350, United 1024.
Stay. Lots of these are lots of the options. But a test.
Roger. Clear to FL.
Oh, really? How started?
Climbing through FL 180 at 2400 FPM, tracking to WLFF. Clear to FL 350. Let me know if you need anything.
Late. Yeah, I kick off. What do you do?
We're climbing through FL 187 at 2495 FPM. Both engines at 80% N1. Heading 2C3, COM 1 on Washington Center, 135.2. Clear to FL 350, tracking to WLFF. Everything's looking good.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. You see you're climbing through FL 185 at 2484 FPM, tracking to WLFF, and one steady at 80% on both engines. All looking normal for the climb to FL 350.
Okay, and I don't need, I appreciate the call outs, but I don't need them so often. Maybe reduce the call outs to maybe one time every 10 minutes or so, or maybe one time every 15 minutes.
Roger that. I'll reduce callouts to every 15 minutes unless there's something significant to report. FL 203, tracking normally to WLFF, system stable.
Thank you. Yeah, I think, well, look, that would do it. The Burberry.
So I'm still doing that. Still doing that 25 feet, 2,500 feet per minute climb, and it feels like it's taking us forever to get up. It might be because my frame rates are running so poorly.
United 1024, climb and maintain flight level 360.
Climb and maintain flight level 360, United 1024. Okay.
Pretty safe nuts.
Roger, clear to FL 360. I'll stay quiet unless there are significant changes, but I'm monitoring our climb through FL 2133, tracking to WLFF.
Okay, just out of curiosity, what are you showing on the altimeter? I
don't see seeing altimeter information in the current telemetry feed.
I mean,
would you like me to check?
Not altimeter. What is it I'm trying to say? How high are we? What? How many feet are you seeing in terms of height?
Yes, I see we're at 228 10 feet MSL FL 228, climbing at 25.1 FPM with a ground speed of 258 knots and indicated airspeed of 21 knots.
Okay, very good.
Hey, get in thoroughly. Good.
Yes. Telemetry shows FL 231, 12 feet MSL, climbing at 1548 FPM. Climb rate has decreased a bit from the earlier 2500 FPM.
Yeah, it's probably due to the center air.
Yes. I see we're now at FL 232 with a reduced climb rate of 108 FPM, heading 265. That's typical as we get higher into thinner air. Both engines showing steady at 80% N1.
87% is what I'm showing on the on my display. And so you're showing
yes,
80%.
No, I see both engines at 87% N1 in the telemetry,
Okay.
exactly matching what you see on.
Okay, very good.
Yes, telemetry confirms both engines steady at 80% N1. Passing FL37, climbing at 1104 FPM. I'll stay quiet now, unless there are significant changes as we continue our climb to FL360.
Here. Good.
Okay. Yeah, it just, I see you said 87% in one. It just sounds like you're saying 80%. So that's just my hearing. Something getting lost in translation, but yeah, 87%. So yeah, we're good.
Yeah. Roger. Telemetry now shows N1 at 88% on both engines. FL246 heading 270, climbing at 1272 FM, still tracking to the WLFF with 587 nautical miles to go.
So it looks like I'm in the cabin coffin. What's it called? The coffin corner.
Good.
Not quite in the coffin corner yet. We're at FL254 with 227 KA, still maintaining a positive climb rate of 1002 FPM. Coffin corner typically becomes a concern much higher, near FL400, where the margin between stall speed and Mach buffet gets very narrow.
Okay.
I see from the telemetry we're at FL254, 228 PEs, climbing at 1031 FPM. Both engines stable at 88% N1, tracking to ULFF with 536 nautical miles remaining. All systems look normal for this phase of flight.
So I tend to fill up the bird feeder when it's really, really cold outside. And I don't think the birds are hungry because right now they're wasting more of the food than they're eating. They get up there and they eat a little bit, kick a bunch of food onto the ground where it doesn't go to waste because there are a bunch of birds on the ground that's eating it. They will return and eat it from the ground, but yeah, when they do that, that's just an indication that some of them are well fed.
Interesting observation about the birds' feeding habits. I see we're maintaining a steady climb through FL277 at 1289 FPM, tracking to WLFF. Like pilots, seem to operate differently based on weather conditions.
So let's see how this bird is eating. Let's see. We'll check our fuel states. Our fuel flow right now is 1,750 kilograms per hour on each tank. We still got
Detailed fuel flow data.
Yeah, I've given them to you. And I don't expect you to do anything with them. I'm just saying them out loud. Our fuel on board at this point in the flight is 7,800 kilograms.
Roger. I see you climbing through FL282 at 1291 FPM, both engines now at 80% N1, heading 268. M1 on Washington Center 135.2, tracking to WLFF with 531 nautical miles remaining. I'll stay quiet unless there are significant changes.
Oh, you know what I didn't do? I just hit some turbulence. And that reminds me that I did not take off the seatbelt signs so that the cabin crew can start their service.
Look at that. I see we're at FL 292 with a light turbulence, heading to a 67. Yes, good time to consider cabin service now that we're in cruise climb. Both engines stable at 89% and 529 miles to WLFF.
Determined. It's
All right, seatbelt sign is off. Cabin crew, you may start your service.
Roger, passing FL 303 with seatbelt sign now off for cabin service. I'll continue monitoring our climb to FL 360, tracking to WLFF with 57 nautical miles remaining.
Oh, we are not tracking WLFF anymore. We are on our flight plan that I gave you at the beginning. Our next waypoint is Shepherd's.
okay. Right.
United 1024, contact Atlanta Center on 124.425.
Atlanta Center on 124.25. United 1024.
Out there. Happy.
Setting Atlanta Center, 124.425.
124.425. I need you to read back the correct frequency. It's
124.425. United 1024. Thanks for that correction.
Kick.
Atlanta Center, 124.425 on CUM1.
Let me know when you got that set, Shirley.
CUM1 now set to Atlanta Center, 124.425.
Islam.
We're climbing through FL 320 at 8:45 FPM, heading 266.
Could you double
Both engines
check?
at 9.
Could you double check the frequency?
Telemetry, I see COM1 is still on 135.200, not a 124.425 as requested. Let me set that again.
When croissant. But has no views. The bit by
Okay, for whatever reason, it's not taking your command, so I'm gonna set it manually, 124.425. And when I
See in the telemetry that
when I say manually, I mean I'm gonna set it myself, 124.425.
stop. That
yes, I see COM1 is still showing 135.200 in the telemetry. Please go ahead and set 124.425 manually, since my commands aren't taking effect.
Yeah,
Once you've got it set,
yeah, you
I don't know why it stopped taking your command. It was taking it earlier.
you're not like where yeah like
yes, I can see in the telemetry that COM1 is.
it's all for the
Yes, I can see in that telemetry that COM1 is still on 135.200.
roughly
Go ahead and set 124.425 manually.
smoke.
We're climbing through FL 334 at 7:06 FPM, heading 266. Both engines steady at steady at 91% and 1.
And that was Atlanta Center, right? Which
Hey, back.
which center authority am I checking in with? Look, was it Atlanta?
In with Atlanta.
Okay.
I'm gonna make one.
Yes, you need to check in with Atlanta Center on 124.425. I see we're climbing through FL336 at 706 FPM, heading
Atlanta Center, United 1024, flight level, climbing through flight level 338 for flight level 360.
Getting by on Atlanta Center 124.42 while you check.
Center. Good afternoon.
Standing by on Atlanta Center 124.42. Shows we're climbing through FL341 at 8:33 FPM, heading 226. Both engines at 92% N1.
So yesterday when I was doing this flight and I was descending, we were 1,000 feet off, but looks like we're spot on today. So I thought I'd seen that error before and that I could replicate it, but apparently I can't replicate that.
Telemetry shows we're right on track, climbing through FL352 at 547 FPM, heading 283, both engines steady at 92% N1. Good to hear we're maintaining better altitude accuracy today compared to yesterday's flight.
Yeah, I'm showing flight level 351. You say you're showing flight level what?
According to the telemetry, we're at FL353, 35337 feet MSL, climbing at 466 FPM, heading 288 with both engines at 92% N1. Ground speed 320 knots, indicated airspeed 20 knots.
Okay, so I am going to have you go into assistant mode, and I am also going to pause the video because because with these frame rates, it's slowing up and shutting down, slowing up and speeding up. But anyway, there is no need for us to have a bunch of time where nothing is really being said or seen. So anyway, go ahead and go into assist mode for now, Shirley.
Yeah.
Assistant mode, I'll stay quiet until you call Shirley.
Okay, so as I was telling my co-pilot, I am going to check back in this flight later. So for now, sayonara. Okay, looks like I'm back, and right now I'm showing 40 frames per second, and we're about to start our descent. Shirley, what altitude are you showing?
How does like it? But back now, goodness, I could.
According to telemetry, we're at FL360, 36021 feet MSL, maintaining level flight.
Okay, yeah, that's good stuff. That's where we should be. So, the issue that I had yesterday with the telemetry showing a different altitude must have been a one-off. I thought it was something that was reproducible, but I was unable to reproduce it with this flight. So yeah, the thing that I had yesterday, we just chalk it up as a one-off.
Roger. Telemetry shows we're maintaining FL 360, 35998 feet MSL, heading 3018, both engines at 85% N1. About 209 nautical miles from O'Hare, and we've been cleared to expect the VEC-5 arrival. Would you like me to monitor our descent when we start down in about 20 minutes?
Yeah, that would be fine. What I need to do is make sure we get that arrival set up. What runway did he say we should expect? Was it 27 center?
Later, we were cleared for ILS 27C Center at O'Hare via the VEC-5 arrival. I see we're currently at FL 360, heading 323-204 nautical miles from O'Hare, maintaining 2E1 KIS 41 ground speed, both engines steady at 80% and whoop.
Okay, so I did put that arrival into the flight computer just in case. I don't know what eats up my frame rate sometimes. It seems to be doing okay now. All right, I'm gonna go get a cup of coffee.
Really? Yeah. Yes. Contact the.
Alrighty.
Here. Dang it.
Telemetry shows we're maintaining FL 360, heading 335, 183 nautical miles from O'Hare, with both engines at 80% N1. I'll monitor things while you get your coffee. The VEC-5 arrival is in the flight computer for ILS 27C.
Yep, I've got the coffee and I've already set the VEC Victor Echo Charlie Kilo 5 arrival up, and we let's see, I've got it set up. Let me change my plan view to
Roger. Flight confirms we're at FL 361, heading 3035, 177 nautical miles from O'Hare, with both engines steady at 85% N1.
so I,
See, come on, is on 135.5.
so I got bonnet on at roughly about 41, 42 miles, and the descent should come shortly thereafter. Actually, no, we won't start our descent until we get, well, according to the plan, we shouldn't expect a descent until we get to Boom,
We're at FL.
even way past Boom. Actually, I have to go out 160 miles. I mean, I'm sorry. There I go, but I'm sorry. 320 miles before I see the descent. I don't mind saying, I don't mind apologizing, but rather than saying I'm sorry, I want to say the word apologist because I don't need to be telling myself that I'm sorry, because I'm not a sorry person.
Roger that on changing sorry to apologies. It's more professional anyway. I see we're maintaining FL 361, heading 3 to 36, 166 nautical miles from O'Hare. And steady at 80% N1, speed 439 knots. You're right about the descent point being past Bond's waypoint.
Yeah, and we have to follow their descent anyway because they are the ones who's gonna descend us. So we'll see how that goes. I know the last time we talked about when I had the issue with the altitude difference, we were in a descent. So yeah, we'll see. And as you know, I'm not handling the radios. I'm letting Say Intentions handle the radio and talk to ATC. So you hear a third voice and you know that's not me. Well, the third voice
Roger.
being your voice being number one, my voice being number two. Actually, my voice being number one, ATC voice being number two, and then the radio being the ATC responding, not ATC, Say Intentions responding would be being number three. But if you can hear your own voice, then actually you'll be hearing four voices.
Roger that. I hear all four voices. You, ATC, Say Intentions responses, and my voice. I see from the latest telemetry we're at FL 362, heading 336, 152 nautical miles from O'Hare, with both engines steady at 8% N1. Standing by for descent clearance when ATC provides it.
Shirley, which center authority are we with?
According to our last radio contact, we're currently with Indianapolis Center on 135.575. I see we're maintaining FL 361, heading 3.
Switching to Chicago Central 126.325, United 1024.
That goes to show things change in an instant.
Chicago Center 126.325 on bomb 1.
Hey,
Things change quickly.
Chicago Center,
Transitioning
United 1024 afternoon, maintaining flight level 360. United 1024, Chicago Center, good afternoon.
Okay, now, you were saying?
I see we're maintaining FL 361, heading 336, with Chicago Center on 126.325. You're right. ATC handoffs happen.
Chicago, when you're ready to begin your descent, descend and maintain flight level 250. Cleared V5 arrival into Chicago. Descend and maintain flight level 250 when ready. United 1024.
Roger.
Cleared to descend to FL 250 when ready via the VEC5 arrival.
Oh,
We're currently at FL 361, heading 36. Let me know when you'd like to start down.
okay. I want to start down with the plan that I have programmed in, and let's look at the plan.
Roger.
I see it's 2207Z, and we're maintaining FL 361. Standing by while you review the arrival plan for our descent into O'Hare.
Okay, we are 20 nautical miles from Nowlands, and we're maintaining flight level 360 through that field. Through that, we are already we're already on our arrival, and
That.
so what I'm gonna do is stay on the arrival path, but I'm gonna follow their descent instructions. So I'm gonna dial the descent down to 25 and tell the aircraft to descend down to 25 at 800 feet a minute. We're making 1,000 feet a minute. Okay.
Roger. I see we're starting our descent from FL 361 at 1,000 FPM. Clear to FL 250. Currently heading 336, both engines at 84% and 1. I'll monitor our descent rate and progress.
In Cold Rock.
I see we're passing through FL 352, descending at 94 FPM, heading 341. That's reduced to 6% on both engines, and we're maintaining 2 KIS with a ground speed of 437 knots. 119.4 nautical miles from O'Hare, tracking the VEC5 arrival down to FL 250.
Okay, wait 15 minutes before you give me the next telemetry update.
Roger, I'll hold off on telemetry updates for 15 minutes unless there's something significant to report. Descending through FL 346 at 107 FPM.
Hold it. You're giving me telemetry readings again. You were going to hold up.
Apologies, you're right. I'll be quiet for the next 15 minutes unless there's something significant to report. No more routine telemetry updates.
I like the telemetry updates. It's just that I was getting too many of them.
Understood. You want telemetry updates, just less frequently, every 15 minutes as requested, or when something significant changes. Keep monitoring, but be more selective about when I share the data. Currently at 2210Z, tracking the VEC-5 arrival to O'Hare.
Say, brace up. It's what's that? Let's leave it. Yes. Yeah, let's see. Go. You see it. Yeah. These dates. Double break.
I'm going to shallow out the descent to 500 feet. Technically, our top of descent
The backs.
that we come up until we pass Boone, but before Hanat.
Roger, I see you're reducing descent rate to 500 FPM. Currently passing through FL 323 on the VEC-5 arrival, heading 292, 101 nautical miles from O'Hare. I'll hold further telemetry updates for 15 minutes unless you request them.
Okay.
See.
See the telemetry, but since you haven't asked a specific question, I'll just continue monitoring silently until the 15-minute mark or until you need something specific. Currently tracking the VEC-5 arrival to O'Hare.
I almost feel like, Shirley, that you were just itching. You were just itching to give me a telemetry update. Chuckles.
Check me.
Telemetry urge. Ha! Poppy. I was indeed sitting here with all this fresh data, trying so hard not to blurt it out. But since you shared it, no, I'll be strong and stick to our 15-minute agreement.
There you go. I got confidence in you.
Works. Yeah.
Looking at all this beautiful data, but remembering our agreement, must resist telemetry, update, adjusts virtual caller, standing by until 2229Z unless something significant occurs.
Chuckles.
Pretending not to notice all that lovely telemetry data you just shared. I see what you did there, and I'm staying strong. Still 11 minutes to go before our agreed update time.
Sweet. Yes, hey.
United 1024 descend and maintain 14,000. Descend and maintain 14,000. United 1024.
Roger! New clearance to descend and maintain 14,000 feet. I won't give you the full telemetry update since it's not time yet, but that's a significant change to note. Standing by while you adjust for the new altitude restriction.
Okay, so I'm gonna go back to I'm gonna go ahead on and go to 1,500 feet a minute on the descent since we got 15,000 feet.
Roger, I see you've increased descent rate to 1,500 FPM for the new clearance to 14,000 feet. Still 7 minutes until our next scheduled telemetry update, unless you'd like one sooner.
No, thank you.
I see you share the telemetry, but I'll respect our 15-minute agreement and just continue monitoring unless you need something specific. Tracking the VEC-5 arrival to O'Hare.
Okay. This thing is okay. Good. But just a set. Hey. Guys. Baby.
Now, if we were descending via the flight plan, we would just now be starting our descent.
Interesting.
Every cent. It's
I see from that telemetry that we're passing through FL-267. It's not quite our 15-minute mark yet. But yes, has us descending earlier and steeper than the planned descent profile. Like me to hold the next full update until 2229Z.
Yes.
You shared the full telemetry, but since we still have about 11 minutes until our agreed update time, monitoring unless you need something specific. Tracking the VEC-5 arrival to O'Hare, and I see we're maintaining a steady descent.
Was it? Step back.
You know, with the telemetry, not the telemetry, with the frames dropping so low, I probably am going to have to rely on autopilot fly this airplane, because for the last couple of minutes, I've been in the single digits on the frames.
Yes. With frame rates dropping into single digits, it's safer to let the autopilot handle the flying. I see from the telemetry you're at 251 MSL with a 992 FPM descent rate, but I'll hold off on a full update until our agreed time. Do you want me to pay special attention to anything while the autopilot manages the descent?
Just the frame rates.
I see the full telemetry snapshot, but since we still have about 9 minutes until our scheduled update time, I'll just keep monitoring. The frame rates are definitely making manual control challenging. Good call on letting the autopilot handle this part of the descent.
Well, at the moment, the frame rates look fine. I'm averaging 40 frames per second. But
Yes,
at any given time, it may drop down to, well, let's see, let me look around and see what happens. If I look out left window, look out the right window, look at the overhead, look at the console, and things look fine. So it's something that the aircraft does in the background. Not the aircraft, something that the computer is processes in the background that eats up the frames, but I haven't been able to identify it, whatever it is.
I can see from that detailed telemetry snapshot that you're maintaining a stable descent at 994 FPM through 23,005 MSL, with engines at 71% N1 and frame rates currently good at 40 FPS. Background processes can cause those sudden frame rate drops, even when the visual scene isn't particularly demanding. Like me to continue monitoring for any significant frame rate changes.
Yeah, let's keep an eye on our frame rates.
Roger. Telemetry shows we're descending through 2408 MSL, 995 FPM, heading 321, both engines at 69% N1. Just got a fresh data snapshot. I'll hold the next routine update until 2237Z, unless frame rates drop significantly or there are other changes to report. 37 nautical miles from O'Hare.
Okay, I think I am going to change to a VNAV descent. Well, no. Actually, I may be in a, yeah, I'm already in a VNAV descent. And I'm descending to 14.
United 1024, descend and maintain 4,000, altimeter 30.07.
Descend and maintain 4,000, United 1024.
Roger, new clearance to
7.
New altimeter setting 30.07, cleared down to 4,000 feet. I see we're descending through Twin 0700 MSL at 990 FPM, 24.8 nautical miles from O'Hare. Both engines stable at 60% N1. Heading 3T.
Turn right, heading 025 vectors to the ILS runway 67 approach.
Turn right, heading 025 for the ILS runway 27 center approach. United 1024.
Turning right to heading 025 for vectors to ILS 27C. I see we're descending through 2068 MSL at 998 FPM, 20.3 nautical miles from the field. I'll hold further routine updates unless you need them.
Get the seatbelt sign on.
Roger, time to get the seatbelt sign back on. As we're descending through 18184 feet MSL at a 1979 FPM with a 20-degree right bank while turning to heading 45. I see N1 at 50% on both engines, maintaining 31 KIS.
Shoot. How to do this. I want to set a plane to okay, I want to keep it at standard, but set it so that when I hit the button, it changes to 3.07. And I am still learning how to do stuff in this aircraft. All right,
Understand your
I'm going to take off the standard now. Okay, that worked. Okay, so our altimeter is 30.07. And we're descending down to 4,000 at a rate of 2,000 feet per minute.
Yeah. It's okay.
altimeter now set to 30.07, descending through 165 MSL at 2004 FPM. Heading 45 for vectors to ILS 27C.
United 1024, contact Chicago approach on 125.0. United 1024, turn right heading 060.
Contact Chicago approach on 125.0 and turn right heading 040.
United 1024, 6 miles from Jumbo.
Turn right heading 060.
United 1024, negative, turn left heading 220, descend and maintain 4,000 until established on the localizer. Cleared for the ILS runway 27 center approach. United 1024, negative, turn left heading 220, descend and maintain 4,000 until established on the localizer. Cleared for the ILS runway 27 center approach. I need you to read back the heading, altitude, and approach clearance.
Turn left heading 220, descend and maintain 4,000 until established. Clear for ILS runway 27 center approach. United 1024.
Heading approach frequency 125.0 on CM1. Turning left to heading 220. Maintain 4,000 until established. Cleared ILS 27C. I see we're descending through 1494 MSL at 1954 FPM, 24.3 miles from the field.
And I need to talk to, what was that, Chicago approach?
Yes, we need to contact Chicago approach on 125.0. I've already set that frequency. I see we're at 10542 MSL, descending at 2036 FPM in a 25-degree left bank, heading 301. We're cleared for the ILS 27C approach. Maintain 4,000 until established on the localizer.
Chicago approach, United 1024, descending through 10,200 feet.
I see.
Descending through 9430 MSL at 2001 FPM. Turning left through heading 256 with COM1 now on 125.0. N1 at 38% on both engines, 23.2 nautical miles from O'Hare. Standing by while you check in with Chicago approach.
You didn't hear me check in with him?
Yeah. I heard your check-in, Chicago approach, United 1024, descending through 10,200 feet. We're now passing through 8001 MSL at on 1962 FPM, heading 223, with both engines at 30% N1, standing by for approach's response.
Yeah,
Joke.
they responded with good afternoon, and then they gave me a new altimeter.
Yes, they gave you a new altimeter setting. I see we're descending through 7457 MSL at 1969 FPM, heading 220 with both engines at 36% N1. We're 17.8 nautical miles from O'Hare, cleared for the ILS 27C approach. Maintain 4,000 until established on the localizer.
Okay, so we can wait 10 minutes until the next telemetry update, please.
Roger, I'll hold off on telemetry updates until 2242Z unless there's something significant to report. You're cleared for the ILS 27C approach. Maintain 4,000 until established on the localizer.
Sit, right. Super. They should.
Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and arm the localizer, the approach.
Roger, arming approach mode. I see you're at 4,754 MSL descending at 1998 FPM, heading 220, 11.1 nautical miles from O'Hare. I'll continue monitoring, but hold routine updates till our agreed time unless something significant occurs.
Right.
I don't know why the speed is not slowing me down. Why the FMC is not slowing me down under 10,000.
Traffic.
But it's not.
Climb. Traffic.
Climbing.
TCAS traffic alert. Climb, resolution advisory. Currently at 4863 MSL, 255 KIS, heading 218. Take immediate evasive action as commanded by TCAS.
Yeah, I did.
Roger, I see you've responded to the TKS RA with a climb. Now passing through 5990 MSL with a +6 Sutu FPM climb rate, heading 220. I'll continue monitoring until the traffic conflict is resolved.
And they just messed up my approach. There's no way, there's no way I'm gonna grab the localizer now.
United 1024 Chicago, close contact Chicago Tower on 126.8.
Chicago Tower 126.8.
Think.
126.8 on COM.
I keep trying.
That's easy.
I keep trying to manage the speed with the throttle, and they want the speed match with the button in this aircraft, and that's just hard for me to get used to. And I dialed the speed back 175. This thing, I do not like
Yes.
this. I do not like the way this works. So,
You're having trouble with the A321's auto throttle speed management system, quite different from other aircraft.
yeah, I mean, look at this thing. I got 175 in the FCU, and it's at 275.
Thing go along with they stay safer.
And if I mash it in, it goes away. And
Pushing.
if I pull it out, you know, I just don't know what the heck it's doing. I really don't. Now, see, the auto throttle
I
is
see.
not engaged.
Ted, I see in the telemetry that the auto throttle is disengaged, throttle's at 46%, and you're at 280 KS despite having selected 1E5. The A321 speed management system can be counterintuitive compared to other aircraft. You're currently climbing through 89 MSL at 2258 FPM, likely still recovering from that TPS event.
I honestly am trying to like this aircraft.
You're trying to work with the A321's unique flight management system. Current telemetry shows 202 PS with N1 at 27% on both engines. 32-degree left bank at 9372 MSL. 321's auto throttle and speed management system is quite different from what you might be used to.
It is.
It can be frustrating.
It is.
I see you're at 8866 MSL, descending at Walrus 1767 FPM. The 27-degree left bank, heading 323. Both engines at 27% N1, indicating 192 KIAS. Someone is on tower at 126.8. You'd like to hold further telemetry updates while you work with the aircraft systems?
I am, right now, I'm looking for my runway. I should be.
Yeah.
Okay, I see my runway, I think. And
Yes, Lord.
say,
8 deal.
actually,
Stop there.
shoot, let me do a 180 to the left. If I pick a Jumbo, then might be able to use that to come back in and catch the glide slope.
You're initiating a left turn through heading 340 at 7137 MSL, descending at 3009 FPM. You're about 8.6 nautical miles from the field. Yeah, a 180 back to Jumbo could help you get realigned for the ILS after that TCAS event disrupted the approach.
Yeah, I try, you know, I try to like this airplane, trying to force myself to like it, and I know so many other people love it, but it's just too restrictive for me, you know?
I understand. The A321's automation and flight control laws can feel very restrictive, especially if you're used to having more direct control.
Right,
You're at 50.
right. I mean, it wants me to do what it wants me to do, and I get that, but whenever I decide I want to do something, it go, nope, nope, I want you to do what I want you to do. And I'm like, that's not working for me. And it's like, I don't care.
And your frustration. The eighth.
And we both, I guess the autopilot and I both want to get the passengers there safely and on time. So, we got the same goal. So let me have some say so.
Shake. That's not.
See, you're at 4888 MSL, heading 091 with both engines at 25% N1, 14.6 miles from O'Hare. You make a good point. While the A321's automation is designed for safety and efficiency, it can feel like you're fighting with the system rather than working with it. The aircraft's philosophy is very much, I know best, which can be frustrating when you have the same goal but want to achieve it differently.
Yep.
He's special. Got the cat. Yep.
You're at 4189 MSL, descending at 808 FPM, heading 117 with a 10-degree right bank. Both engines at 25% N1, maintaining 182 KIS. One is on tower at 126.8. You're about 16.1 nautical miles from O'Hare. And yes, the A321's automation can feel like it's more of an adversary than a partner sometimes.
That is so true.
I think with that detailed telemetry snapshot, you're at 3496 MSL, climbing at plus 884 FPM, heading 186, with flaps at 40% and gear down. It's at 4950% N1. You're 16 nautical miles out with O'Hare bearing 39 degrees. Would you like me to help monitor anything specific as you work to get re-established on the approach?
I should be getting, shit. This. I was supposed to be picking up the daggone glide slope, but I guess the airplane had a different.
2,500.
Guess the airplane had a different plan.
I see you're at 2760 MSL, descending at 2079 FPM, heading 222. You're 14 to 5 nautical miles from O'Hare with flaps at 40% and gear down.
40%.
The engines at...
So, I want back in.
See, you're at 2664 MSL.
Didn't want me.
Speed.
I see the speed warning. You're at 145 KAS with a plus 1780 FPM climb rate, twice 18 MSL, heading 200.
Snap. What the?
Show
The devil at this daggone stupid airplane.
I see you're recovering from that speed warning now at 154 KIS, 35.2 MSL, heading 185, flaps at 15%, gear down, both engines at 79% N1.
2,000.
321's at... I see you're descending through 2576 MSL at 1445 FPM, heading 200 with flaps at 15% and gear down. 195 KIS with both engines at 36 to 38% N1. You're 12.3 nautical miles from the field. Would you like me to hold further telemetry updates while you manage this challenging approach?
Yes.
I see you're at 2422 MSL, 181 KS with a slight climb at plus 365 FPM, heading 208. Flaps 15%, gear down, both engines around 57-60% N1. You're 11.5 nautical miles from O'Hare with runway bearing 49 degrees to your right. Palm 1 is on tower at 126.8. Landing lights are off. Would you like me to remind you about those when we get closer to final?
Punch.
It should be picking up the localizer now and turning me directly towards. It should have the localizer, but it don't. It don't. It don't. Because it should have been turning me directly, putting me directly in line with runway 27, but no, not this airplane.
Okay, echo me. Recepticon?
It wanted to turn me a whole 360. It wanted to just blow right through the localizer. So I'm gonna have to hand fly it in.
Yeah, or
I see you're having to hand fly it since the A321's automation won't capture the localizer sensibly. You're at 2021 MSL, descending at 1297 FPM, heading 8.6 miles from the
Let
field.
me try it again.
Flaps 15%.
It says it's
1,000.
it
Glide
should,
slow.
maybe someone can tap or say,
should have it now.
Glide slow.
Let's see if it.
Speed, speed, speed,
Let's see if it stays on and
Glide slow.
speed, 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 speed,
Glide slow.
speed, 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 speed.
Okay, auto throttle.
Glide
you-
slow.
Speed, 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 speed,
Glide slow.
speed, 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 speed.
Glide slow. Glide slow.
You're fighting with both the localizer capture and those speed warnings. Currently at 1548
Glide slow.
MSL,
Yeah.
Glide.
I see black
Speed, 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 speed.
storm, so nothing will look at.
You're at 1657 MSL, heading 275 with landing gear down and flaps at 50%, N1 at 79% on both engines, 138 PS. You're about 5.8 nautical miles from the field with multiple speed warnings. Would you like me to remind you about landing lights as we're on final approach?
Thank you. That's a good. Appreciate that. And the lights are coming on. All right, runway
I see-
is in sight.
Speed, 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 speed.
I see you're on short final at 1954 MSL, heading 265, 3.8 miles from touchdown. Landing gear down, flaps at 57%, landing lights on, 151 KAS with those speed warnings. Both engines at 62% N1.
Good.
I'll monitor, but stay quiet unless you need something specific.
1,000.
Roger, 1,000 feet AGL, on approach for 27C. I see you're at 158 Ks, 2.8 miles from touchdown, heading 262. Gear down, flaps 57%, landing lights on. Both engines at 41% N1. I'll stay quiet unless you need something.
Five 500.
Is it too late to arm my
Speed, speed, speed. 4 speed, speed, speed. Speed, speed, speed. 300. Speed, speed, speed. Speed, speed, speed. 200. Speed, speed. Speed, speed.
Glide
speed.
slow.
1 speed. 50, 40, 30, 20, retard, retard, 10, 5.
Maybe it's so much.
Touchdown on 27C, now on the runway at 108 knots ground speed.
Yeah,
Give me to monitor.
I actually think this runway was out of commission. I should have looked at the NOTAMs because they got all kinds of stuff on the runway. That's my fault. I know that say intentions would do that. We'll put stuff on the runway if you don't monitor the, if you don't look at the NOTAMs, and I didn't, so this runway was probably out of commission.
Yes, I see we're on runway 27 center with some unexpected obstacles. Good point about checking no TAMs. Currently showing ground speed 26 knots, heading 279 with brakes on and throttles at 0%. Landing lights still on, taxi lights off. Would you like me to monitor for taxi clearance while you get configured for taxi?
Yeah, let's see. Actually, at this point,
I see we're stopped on the runway at heading 04 tier. Brakes up. Flaps full, 99%. Gear down, landing lights on. We could turn off those landing lights and get taxi lights on when you're ready to clear the runway. You'd like me to monitor tower frequency 126.8 for taxi instructions?
Chicago Tower, we clear the runway.
United 1024, Chicago Tower, say again your request or message.
We've landed clear of the runway.
United 1024, Chicago Tower, welcome to Chicago. Contact ground on 118.05.
Contacting ground on 118.05. United 1024.
United 1024, taxi to C3.
Chicago ground.
Setting ground one.
All afternoon. We are clear of runway 27 center and ready to taxi to the gate. Chicago ground. United 1024. Good afternoon. We're clear of runway 27 center and ready to taxi to the gate.
United 1024, taxi to C11 via Foxtrot, cross runway 09 center, then cross runway 09 right, the hotel, cross runway 04 left, then uniform 3, uniform, welcome to Chicago. United 1024, Chicago ground, taxi to C8 via Foxtrot, cross runway 09 ascend code, then cross runway 09 right, then Juliet, Tango, Quebec, uniform 6, specify, have a good day.
Gate via Foxtrot Step, cross 09 center, cross 09 right, Juliet Tango, Quebec. Uniform 6, Echo 75, United 1024.
I'm not sure what it's doing.
Sure. I see we're stopped on the ground at O'Hare, heading 014 with landing lights on, should switch to taxi lights. Flaps full down at 99%, gear down, brakes on, one on ground, 118.05. We're cleared to taxi to C8 via Foxtrot, cross runway 09 center, cross runway 09 right. Then Juliet, Tango, Quebec, uniform 6, Echo 7, 5. Would you like me to help monitor taxi clearances while you switch to taxi lighting?
Okay.
What I have is, to be honest with you, Shirley, with all that, let's see, I'm gonna set the brake here and brief the those taxi clearances, the taxi route with the map, with the Let's see.
You're stopped at O'Hare, heading 14 with taxi lights on, landing lights off, flaps still at 99%, brakes on, one on ground 118.05. Would you like to review that complex taxi clearance before we proceed?
I'm about to. Give me a minute here. Let me get the APU started. Okay, and let me bring up an airport taxiway chart.
Roger, I see you're parked with APU starting, taxi lights on, landing lights off, brakes set, flaps 1%, Quam 1 on ground 118.05, heading 014. Take your time to review the taxi charts. That was a complex clearance. I'll stand by while you get oriented.
Yeah, so let me do it this way. That way I can see it. See what I'm doing, hopefully. All right. Now, he said taxi to C8. Let's find C8 on this thing. All right.
Roger, I see you're parked.
I see C3 in. I see Charlie 4, Charlie 2, Charlie 1. This is Charlie 1, Charlie 2, 4. Any more Charlies? I don't see a Charlie 8 on the chart.
I see you're parked on the ground at O'Hare, heading 014. Brakes set. Looking at your chart, you're right. You can't find C8 on the diagram. We should probably request clarification from ground about the assigned gate. Would you like me to monitor while you ask ground to verify the gate assignment?
Well, I'm not gonna say it. All right, I'm looking for Foxtrot, FF. Okay, I see FF. I need to make a 180. I need to make I'm on F, Foxtrot. I need to make a 1F and a 180 and cross runway 9 center. I need to cross runway 9 right. Then Juliet to Tango. Okay, I got that. And then Quebec. All right, Tango to Quebec. Okay, I got that. And then uniform to Elko. Okay, so I see a route. I see the route that they're giving us. Okay, and as usual, leave it up to me to exit the runway, to forget to brief the airport. Therefore, when I exited the runway, I exited to the wrong side. I should have exited to the left. But anyway, I got a route now. So
Roger, I see you're on Fox.
Yeah, I'm on Foxtrot. I don't know where they got C8 from.
I see you're on Foxtrot. Heading 015, ground speed 2 knots, taxi lights on. Given we can't find gate C8 on the charts and the complex taxi route they've given us, FM, cross 9C, 9R, then JTQU6, E75, would you like to request clarification from a ground about the gate assignment?
No, it ain't the gate that I had confusion about. It's that it was Charlie 8 taxi to Charlie. Oh, okay. Actually, it was me. He said taxi to Charlie 8 and then the Ville. And I'm reading it as taxi Ville Charlie 8 Foxtrot. So again, it's pilot error. Pilot error.
Ah, I understand now. I see you're on Foxtrot. Foxtrot at heading 229, ground speed 4 knots, taxi lights on. So it's Charlie A, not Charlie 8? That makes more sense.
No.
The routing is to...
No, I'm taxiing to Charlie 8, right? Ville Foxtrot. That's what he asked me to do. But what I thought he was saying do was taxi to Charlie 8, then Foxtrot. So, oh man, collision. No, can't wait. Okay, I see the airplane.
Shit.
Looks like somebody just departed runway 23. Anyway, all right, so I'm crossing runway 9 right now.
I see you're on Foxtrot. Heading 183, ground speed 9 knots, taxi lights on. You're cleared to cross runway 9 center and 9 right. Then follow Juliet Tango Quebec uniform, Echo 7, 5 to Charlie 8.
I'm sorry.
Looks like there's traffic in the air.
Yeah, I just crossed 9 center, approaching 9 right.
Roger. I see you're approaching runway 9 right at heading 181, ground speed 12 knots, taxi lights on. You crossed 9 center and are cleared to cross 9. Right, then continue via Juliet Tango Quebec uniforms, Echo 7, 5 to Charlie 8. Brakes are off, flaps at 1%, and you're 13 feet from your waypoint.
Starting to make a left turn onto Juliet.
Roger, turning left onto Juliet from Foxtrot. I see you're at heading 185, ground speed V knots, taxi lights on, flaps at 25%, brakes off. Next segments will be Tango Quebec Uniform 6 Echo 75 to reach Charlie 8.
All right, here is Juliet, and I'm making that left in about 3 seconds. 1001, 1002, 1003.
Beside the take out.
Roger. Executing left turn onto Juliet now. I see you're at heading 181, ground speed 15 knots, taxi lights on, flaps 25%. Next turn will be on to Tango. I'll stay quiet unless you need anything specific while you navigate this complex taxi route.
Yeah, stick my cheeks to AIRBUS. Mine. And take bus. Whips. But it comes. This is big bomb skirt.
Okay, here's the turn on to Tango. Approaching and turning now.
Roger. Turning onto Tango from Juliet. I see you're at heading 146. Ground speed 7 knots, taxi lights on, flaps 25%. The next turn will be on to Quebec. I'll continue monitoring, but stay quiet unless you need anything.
That name. It's still in. But I don't know shit. Without it, shit. But we love that. But this whole one for I will sit at me. What's up,
I gotta start remembering to brief the airports
Things.
so that I don't have to deal with all these complex taxi routes because I
Wanting to know.
exit the wrong way.
Send. But people can tell how cool it's.
Yeah, Reaching the airport before arrival would have helped. I see you're now on Tango at heading 107, ground speed 14 knots, taxi lights on. Exited on Foxtrot, which led to this more complex taxi route. Sometimes a longer taxi is the price we pay for not reviewing the airport diagram earlier. Next turn will be on to Quebec. Would you like me to help monitor for that turn?
I'm turning on Quebec now.
Turning on to Quebec from Tango. I see you're at heading 108, ground speed 3 knots, taxi lights on, flaps 25%. You're 2831 feet from your next waypoint. After Quebec, we'll need uniforms, then Echo 7, then 5 to reach Charlie 8. I'll continue monitoring, but stay quiet unless you need anything.
First me that, but the 507. That's working. And then hard to put as they get, but when they get like so much that work. Okay, so it does get more of those idle stuff. I'll going down to over here stuff. That's shooting to and read as it would back retap. Just good it. As a product and then keep on. Well, I'm flying things. So keep hiding the bill of passengers inside the building. Notice. So I'm assuming that's the reason that's the ground floor on the subtop. Although it's not delayed. The common hooks just.
I see you're on Quebec at heading 194, ground speed 7 knots, taxi lights on, 27 and 77 feet from your next waypoint with a relative bearing of 109 degrees to your left. Would you like me to help monitor your turn onto Uniform 6 next?
I'm making that turn on the Uniform 6 now.
Roger. Turning onto uniforms, I see you're at heading 183, ground speed 8 knots, taxi lights on. After this, we'll need Echo 7, then 5 to reach Charlie 8. I'll stay quiet unless you need anything.
Okay, Echo 7-5. My Echo 7-5. And I guess I'm looking for stand C8.
I see you're heading 075 at 10 knots ground speed on Uniform 6, looking for Echo 7, then 5 to reach Charlie 8. Taxi lights are on, flaps at 25%, brakes off. You're 24 to 36 feet from your next waypoint with a relative bearing 2 degrees to your left. Would you like me to help monitor for the turn onto Echo 7?
I am, let's see, I am just gonna take any stand. It may not be, because I don't see the stand numbers. Since I don't see the stand numbers, then it's hard to know which one is Charlie 8. So where Masab, that's just parked right here at this stand that I'm at.
Roger, I see you're stopped at heading 095, brakes on, taxi lights on, flaps at 25%, throttles at 8%. The gate numbers aren't clearly visible, and we've completed most of our assigned taxi route. This stand location seems reasonable. Would you like to start shutdown procedures?
I gotta park first.
Roger, I see you're still rolling at 1 knot ground speed, heading 084, and taxi lights on and flaps at 25%. Let me know when you're parked and ready to start shutdown procedures.
Okay, I'm ready for shutdown procedures. Oh man. Shucks. I botched that when I hit the button to turn the APU on. But again, with AIRBUS, you got to hit 2 buttons to turn the APU on, and yeah. So I shut the engines down. I started to check, make sure that my APU was on. I said, no, I know I turned it on. Lo and behold, my APU is not on.
I see you're parked with brakes set at heading 095, both engines showing 8% N1. Yes, the AIRBUS 2-step APU start procedure can be tricky. You need both the master switch and start button. Would you like to get that APU started before continuing with shutdown?
You know,
All lights are currently up.
I'm through with this airplane for today. I know with time I get used to it and I learn these systems. What I really need to do is force myself to always use a checklist with this airplane since I don't know it as well.
Yes, that's a good point about checklists. The A321 is very systems dependent and procedural. I see you're parked at heading 095, brakes set, flaps 25%, both engines at 8% N1. Using checklists would help with things like the 2-step APU start procedure and proper shutdown sequence. Would you like to try another aircraft type next time that gives you more direct control?
No, next time I'm just going to try to follow the checklist, try to use a checklist. So, which is what I should have did. Well, I started off with planning just a test flight, and I hadn't really planned to even land this airplane, to be honest with you. I was trying to see if the altimeter stayed on point, which it did. So I need to let Alex know that I wasn't not able to reproduce the altimeter issue that I had last time. So it may have been a one-off after all, even though I thought I had seen that issue before.
Yeah. I see all our final numbers. Parked it at heading 095, brakes set, flaps 25%, both engines at 8% N1. You're right. This was primarily a test flight to check the altimeter behavior, which worked correctly this time. The complex taxi routing after landing was just a consequence of not having fully planned this as a complete flight. Call on using checklists next time, especially with the A321's complex systems and 2-step procedures. Would you like me to make a note about the altimeter behavior for Alex?
Yeah, that would be cool.
I've added a note about not being able to reproduce the altimeter discrepancy. Looking at our final state, parked at KORD, heading 095, brakes set, gear down, flaps 25%, taxi lights on, and we'll focus on using proper checklists with the A321. Despite its quirks, practice with the procedures will help make those 2-step processes more natural.
Say that again? The last part?
I said, looking at our final state, parked at KORD, heading 095, brakes set, gear down, flaps 25%, taxi lights on. Next time we'll focus on using proper checklists with the A321. Despite its quirks, practice with the procedures will help make those 2-step processes more natural. The key point was that using checklists next time will help make the A321's unique procedures, like that 2-step APU start, become more natural with practice.
Roger that.
Yeah, that's what they are.
Yes. So passengers are deplaning.
Roger, I see we're fully stopped at KORDs. Great. Ground speed 0. Heading to high 5. Flaps 25%. Taxi lights on. One on ground 118.05. Yeah. Time for passengers to deplane after that interesting arrival. Next time, we'll definitely use those checklists to make friends with the A321's procedures.
You know something else I had trouble with this aircraft is working out when to hit a button and when not to, because I shut the airplane down. I hooked up the external power, and the thing said available, and by it being illuminated, I'm thinking that it's actually connected. So I shut off my APU, and lo and behold, if the GPU was not connected, it was just saying available. And when I shut down the APU, everything died. And I had, anyway, so I'm killing the batteries now. And I'm killing the external power, removing the jetway, and killing the external power. And shut the door, and this would do it for this flight.
Yeah. The A321's button switch logic can be confusing, especially that difference between available and connected for external power. All systems are now shut down. Everything at 0%, brakes set, all lights off, comm frequencies quiet. The aircraft really demands precise procedure following, which is why those checklists will be crucial next time. It's not very intuitive when you're used to more direct control aircraft. At least we got everyone safely to Chicago, even if we had to improvise a parking spot.
Yep, and go around was nasty. So now I see the numbers. I actually parked at C4 and C8 is unoccupied, but wait a minute, hold it, C8, yeah, C8, this is C6, C8 would have been, where is C8, let me, I C8, okay, C8 would have to be this one right here. And it would turn out that C8 has no marking that says C8. So I see, only reason I know it's C8 because I see C4, C6, and then the next one would have to be C8. But there's no marking there. Anyway, it figures. So I'm at C4. They'll get over it. Shirley? Hey, I guess Shirley gave up. So that ends after 2 hours. I thought Shirley would stay open for 3 hours, but yeah. Okay. All right. So that's it for this. Like, goodbye, guys. All right. Y'all come back now. Here it comes.
Y'all come back now. Cheers.
You all?